Shalawam Yashrala. Okay, let's wrap this up. So the topic we're at hand is divine genetics, and we've dealt with the three, main aspects of genetics, which the white man's genetics is not teaching you. There's a lot of limitations in there because they're based on just merely on assumptions, looking at phenotypes. Okay, so in as I was teaching earlier on that phenotypes are observable traits. Eye color, skin color, these are things that you can get from your father, you can get from your mother. But things like your characteristics now, right? Your main characteristics always come from the dominant gene. So we're talking about the soul now. We're talking about the multiple dimensions, okay, of genetics. So the soul now, there is another element. That's another genetic where certain characteristics now can be passed on. And most of these other nations are not solar beings, they're lunar beings. Okay? But because every time you mix with a black person, you take their soul automatically, whether it comes from the mother or it comes from the father. But the spirit now, okay? The spirit can only come from the father. Okay, so whether it's a weak recessive gene from the white man, that's your seed, that's your haploid type. Okay, so we gave the definition of what haploid is. If you remember, ploid just means chromosomes, number of chromosomes. So haploid, one set of chromosomes, which is represented by the little n. Diploid, two die. Anything dissect, cut in two. Anything die means two. Two sets of chromosomes. So you have 23, two sets, 46. Okay, so that's just giving you a summary of everything that I said. And the haploid, every cell in your body, right, are diploid. Every cell. There's only one cell in your body that's not diploid, both in male and female, and that's your sex gametes. That's your sex cells, and your sex cells are haploid. Okay, so if it's a woman, the egg is haploid. It's just a single egg. If it's a man, it's a single sperm. They come together. The egg meets the sperm meets the egg. They form together and form embryo. But that doesn't mean when it says 23 chromosome coming from the father, 23 chromosome coming from the mother, is in terms of phenotypes. It's in terms of your observable characteristics, including your blood type, your eye color, your skin color, all these things that are in your actual vessel. But as people, as humans, we are multi-layered, we're multi-dimensional. So we have a soul as well. Your characteristics, the way you do certain things, that always comes from the dominant gene. That's another layer that's not affected by that initial. Oh yeah, so that reminds me now, let's go into Onan. Okay, so then we'll go to Onan. We've dealt with the seed being the father, we've dealt with it in genetic science, we've dealt with it in scriptures. We don't even need to deal with that anymore. Whoever doesn't still understand that, you're not going to understand it. You're just too simple. Alright, you can replay the video over and over again. Ask me questions. I know that I might be going too fast, and that's because I just assume people have certain basic understanding of certain things. In my understanding, I don't think anything I brought is too deep right now, but if it feels like it's too deep, just ask me questions. I don't want to seem like I'm just talking over you guys or whatever it is. I want to hear from you. I want to learn from you as well. So let's find out now. I talked about a deeper sense in terms of 3 layers. Let's see a confirmation, because precept must always be of precept. This is our life. This is our source. We verify everything by our records, the divine records. So we want to find out now what I just said now and verify that. Because a lot of people will read the story of Onan and they don't understand it. Most people don't. They skip over that because they don't understand what the seed actually is. Okay, but now that I've given you all this background information now, the story of Onan is going to make much more sense to you. Okay, so let's go to the story now. Onan, where you? Right, Genesis chapter 38. Let's get the story out. Let's start from verse 4. So Judah, we know, took a wife, right, of the daughters of Canaan, right, and her name was Shua, and he took her and went into her. So he slept with her, and she conceived and bare a son and called his name And she conceived again. I'm reading Genesis 38 verse 4 now. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet conceived and bare a son and called his name Shelah. And he was Chezib when and he was at Chezib when she bare him. Okay, and Judah, Yahweh, took a wife of his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Okay, and Yahweh's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Ahiah. So it had nothing to do with Tamar. He was wicked. Okay, and Ahiah slew him, killed him. And Yahweh said unto Onan, go unto thy brother's wife. We still keep that custom till today. Okay, when my dad passed away, my dad's brother was supposed to take my mom, but my mom refused. But that's a custom, so without even the scriptures, we're keeping this custom because that's what culture is about. It's transference, of certain things, certain like customs from generation to generation. Like scripture tells us to teach, our children and our children's children, so they don't forget the ways of the Most High. Okay, so it says to raise up seed for thy brother. So how is he going to take his brother's wife, after he died, and then raise up seed for his brother? How does that make any sense? It's his seed, it's his haploid, his sex gamete, it's his sperm, whatever you want to call it, and it's saying take like the seed, right, it's going to be his brother's. So that seed itself is multifaceted. So we're talking about different layers, right? So their Genesis will only see 23 chromosomes being passed from parents to offspring. 1 unit of inheritance being passed from parents to offspring, but that's just based on phenotype. That's based on assumption of the phenotypes that you see. But what about the underlying stuff that's going on? What else is being passed on, as inheritance? Now, obviously, he used peas, which is foolish, because you can't compare what's going on in peas to what's going on in a human being and now transfer that now, and now you think you know what goes on when a gene passes on from generation to generation in a human being. Does that not even sound like foolishness to you? All right, but that's the foundation of your genetics. And you Egyptologists and all you brothers out there want to come out and tell me, yeah man, we deal with the science. You shut your mouth there, man. You don't know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the foolishness they're dealing with. You need to look at it. Then I'm not saying you should dismiss it, but take it and don't take the stuff and take the lies that they put in there as well. Take what's good. It says prove all things, hold fast to what's good. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 21. We need to apply that with everything. You need to prove everything. Okay, so that I'm giving you a proof now. Right, so when the scripture is telling you now that Onan took to raise up seed for his brother, right? And it says, verse 9, and Onan knew that the seed, that word seed, you can check it in the Hebrew, is the word zara. Seed. So he knew that the seed, the sperm, should not be his. And it came to pass when he went into his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest he should give seed to his brother. So now the question will be now, if he slept with his brother's wife, right, and they had a child, he said the seed will be his brother's. Does that mean the seed is not going to look like him and look like his mother? No. And look like his wife? No. The child will have both characteristics of the father and the mother, but that's on the first dimension. That's on the physical dimension. That's in this earthly temple. But the characteristics now, the soul will be, because they were both Yasharala, will be part to be taken from, because they both have soul. Okay? It's the white people that don't have soul. They're not us. They're not humans. They don't have any melanin. they are lunar beings, solar beings, but I'll deal with that another time. Okay, we have soul. So our soul, both they both have soul. So they'll take both on that dimension. They'll both take, a soul, the characteristics from both mother and father. Actually, because I don't think she was a Yasharala, so it will be taking those characteristics more from the father, right? But the main partner, the third layer, the third dimension I'm talking about, is the spiritual dimension now, right? So the spirit of that person, right, now is saying that spirit would have been the brothers, not hers, because there's a contract, there's a covenant already made between Tamar and So they knew this already. So he knew that, that contract is already, what the spirit is just going to come, back. It's like every seed he has is going to be his seed, because it's his spirit that's going to overshadow. It's going to overshadow, I don't know, for lack of a better word, that egg at that point. It's the energy or whatever you want to talk, or that light, because it's literally light, that's gonna, it's gonna be his brothers. The essence is gonna be of his brother. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, that there's three main dimensions. This is what you call, this is divine genetics, and it goes even deeper, but this is kind of giving you a summary of an overview of genetics that we're supposed to be dealing with as Yasharala. Not this foolish genetics they're given, because it's so limited. Because in doing that now, you're going to have so much holes. There's more questions than there is answers. Okay, but the truth is always straightforward. The truth will set you free in your thinking. So now you understand the power, in us as a people, why we need to deal with our own. Okay, so we've dealt with honor. Now, are we supposed to integrate on any level, whether whether a black man marrying a white woman? Are we supposed to integrate? Didn't Solomon sin by doing it? He's a black man. He took a white woman, right? Even though the seed comes from the father, it was a sin. It wasn't a holy seed anymore. Okay, let's deal with that. So these are going to be the remnants, but they're not a holy seed. The set apart seed, the pure seed that Ahai is talking about. There's a reason why the Most High is saying, do not integrate. To keep the seed set apart. That's the word Kadash. Okay? We need to really start to understand why these words are important, and why we as a nation are chosen, to be a special people above all people on the face of the earth. Like, for instance, Abraham and Hagar. The seed comes from the father, right? Abraham. Why is Ishmael not chosen then? It had to be Abraham and Sarah to get that covenant out. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Okay, that's just one layer. Let's keep on dealing. Let's go to the actual, because with precept, let's get the precept directly. Ezra chapter 9 verse 12. Now therefore give not thy daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons, nor seek their peace, nor their wealth forever. What does forever mean? I'll give you some time to think about that. Forever means forever. Okay? There's no other definition you can give me for that. It doesn't stop till today. Okay? That ye may be strong. Does the Most High not know that we're going to have the transatlantic slave trade and all of that stuff happening? Okay? For you integrationists that want to talk about mixture of seed, I've just given you the genetic breakdown, so don't bring that to me. Okay? I could break down the genetics all day, every day. You can't pull that wool over my eyes. We need to now be set apart as a nation of people. Okay? And we'll deal with that in a second. Like, as we keep going, as we're building on this. I've gone too longer than I expect. I wanted to anticipate that I was going to. So let's not make this any longer than it should be. Just deal with this a little bit. Just deal with that. Judging according to appearance, because most of you seem to keep using that when it comes to dealing with a white man. We're not supposed to even deal with that at all. Okay? Right. Seek not their peace, nor their wealth forever, that ye may be strong. That's why you see in the vision that Daniel had, the leg that was part iron, part clay, that's where the weakness was. That was the weakest of all the kingdoms. The mingled seed. That you may be strong and eat the good of the land. Every other nation knows this. The Chinese are not trying to cleave onto any other nation. They cleave onto each other and they're strong as a nation. The Pakistani are not trying to cleave on. They don't give their daughters to just anyone. They'll tell you to go into their religion. When it comes to marrying their daughters now, how many of them do you see giving their daughters out? Out of this, the statistics, just few. But as a nation, they don't do it. We're the only one that want to integrate with everyone. Is that slave mentality? We don't know our identity. We give into every foolishness. Why 6.6% of our people are going to get cut off and die. Okay, 2/3, that's 6.6 is that we have received the philosophy, or this man-made philosophies. You're going to get cut off because that's the mark of 666. That's the mark of a man. Any man-made philosophies, come back to your culture, come back to the divine way that the Most High set for us, so we can be strong as a nation. Okay, and eat the good of the land and leave it for an inheritance for your children forever. That's why you see all through the scriptures they had genealogies. They kept it for as an inheritance. They passed it over and over and over throughout all generations. Okay, right. So the names now. Let's just deal with the names quickly and then we'll carry on because we're still dealing with integration. All right. But what do someone's gonna ask me? What do you do now? Like we've been disconnected and like it's not as easy for us because like at least you guys there, you know, are on the other side of slavery, which we were in slavery, but not the transatlantic slave trade. You know, there was trans-Saharan slave trade. There was when the Persians came, there was a lot of mixing. There was a lot of slavery going on even in the region called Africa. Even when our people are around the area. So you people that are in Africa, our people that are in Africa don't think you are exempt from slavery. Every last one of us have gone through the curses and slavery. Okay, but in the region now, you say, yeah, but at least you have your last name. You can trace, you know, who you are and everything like that, which is true. Like I said, my name is Nna. I can trace that very easily. In fact, my tribe, Abia, is in Luke chapter 1. It's directly mentioned. Ashanti, 1 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 59. You can see Ashan. Ashan is, you know, the Levites. So I know directly that I'm a Levite now, so I know I need to cover my head because it talks about in Leviticus chapter 10, forever, you know, the sons of Aaron need to cover their head. You know, so this is where, like, I know this and the Most High led me to show me that. But you say, oh, I was taking a transatlantic slave trade and, you know, I don't know how to, you know, get, you know, like, we're given slave masters names, our names were stripped off us, so we don't know our families and all of that. The Most High is the Alap and the Da. So he knows it's the beginning and the end. He knows exactly what's happening. Okay, and he's giving us a solution. When you come into the truth, right? You need to know. That's why you need to now start to look at this part. If you're, you know, if you're of the transatlantic slave trade, you fall under the 12 tribe chat, like most of the Israelites we gave you, which I'll post up. You're of the Yasharala. If you're pale skinned, I will not measure you. Just know that for a fact. Now it's like I'll measure what I know. You get what I'm saying? And I will look at your observable traits as well. You get what I'm saying? I will look at your skin color as well. If you're pale, like there's something off there. You get what I mean? I'm not trying to measure that. Okay. So and we know that Ephraim is like a cake unturned. We know that. Okay. But at the same time as well, you know, we're told specific to measure specific people. Okay. That's the mandate that the Most High has given me, and I'm not going to change that for nobody. Okay. Revelation chapter 11, don't measure the outer court, don't measure that. Okay, to measure means to, you know, to identify, to, you know, try to figure out who's who, and we're not supposed to do that. Measure my people. Okay, right, so let's deal with that. So your names, once you come into the truth now, what you need to do is change your name to Yasharala. We're all one house of Yasharala. Okay, so your surname needs to get changed. It's very important. Okay, get back to your roots. So you don't need to know, like I changed my name. My name is now Yahawashai and not Yasharala. Okay, so Yasharala, that shows that we all come from one family. Okay, Isaiah chapter 44 verse 5. One shall say, I am Ahias. The other shall call himself by the name Jacob. Okay. And you see that all over, people waking up to this. They will name themselves Jacob this, you know, Jacob ben Yasharala. Some people say Yisrael, but if you're using Yisrael, you need to know the origin of these words. They're all pagan words. Isis Ra'el. Okay, we're not supposed to be dealing with all these pagan words. There's no L in the ancient Hebrew word. Okay, so get rid of that. It surprises me because most of you use the ancient Hebrew, but then you still call by the name Yisrael. How does that work out? Is the ancient Hebrew, is there any L's in the ancient Hebrew? So where are you getting your L from? Right. And another shall subscribe with his hand onto a hire, that's his signature. So you sign a hire. Okay, because your signature, every time you're signing something, you're making a declaration of something. So we need to now know constitution. That's why Satan is accused of the brethren. Okay, we need to now start to tighten all these knots. Okay, and surname himself by the name of Yasharallah. So you change your surname to Yasharallah. Okay, you can choose any Hebrew name based on your purpose. Whatever higher leads you to choose, but you surname yourself Yasharallah. Okay, cool. Now let's deal some more on the integration. Nehemiah chapter 13 verse 23. In those days I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab, and the children spake half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak the Jews' language. I wonder why. Because the women are the ones that are going to be raising up the kids, and also they're obviously going to be inheriting that superficial level, right? Certain traits from the mother. Okay, it says, but according to the language of each people, obviously of the Ashdod and Moab and Ammon, and I contended with them. This is Ezra now. I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them. Do we react like this when it comes to integration? He was beating them up, plucking off their hair, right? And made them swear by hire, saying, ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons for yourself. Did not Solomon, king of Yasharallah, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of Ahiah, and Ahiah made him king over all Yasharallah. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do this great evil? That's what the Most High calls it. He calls it a great evil. To transgress against Ahiah in marrying strange wives. Okay, let's get some more of how our forefathers dealt with these things. Ezra chapter 10 verse 3. That's why I told you, I love the book of Ezra, because when people are departed from the law, how did they react in changing now and getting back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High? Just like we are today, we're disconnected from our heritage, disconnected from our ways. We're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments with the land of our oppressors. How do we get back now? How was supposed to be our response? And how are we supposed to react to? Are we supposed to take integration as a light thing? Is it actually a light thing? These things, are they weightier matters of the law? Talked about, we just read there, says, did Solomon not sin? They transgressed the law. This was a great evil. But we don't see that as a great evil. The things that are abominable are the things we like to do. Our women are not supposed to wear pants. The Most High says it's an abomination unto him for a man to wear that which pertains unto a woman, and for a woman to wear that which pertains unto a man. Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. But yet, we don't see that as a great evil. We pass it like it's nothing. These things are an abomination unto the Most High.